Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Diksha, Ruchita, Shraddha. I hope I'm audible and my screen is visible. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Good morning, Pooja. So all set for business environment revision class? Yes. Okay. Good. Okay, so a small change in the pattern of how we are going to take the revision class, because yesterday in class I told you that we'll be checking on the objective types of question. Yes, whereas some have requested for a complete revision again. So we'll be going as per the request. Complete revision will be done. Objective type of questions, yes, I'll be sending it to you. Yes, good morning, Nishant. Shall we begin? Yes. Thank you for responding. So before I go, let me check up as how's your memory power. Okay. So what is business environment? What is business environment? In few words, I would prefer, not the entire sentence definitions. No. In few words, can you tell me what is business environment? What is business environment? Oh, if you're typing, okay, good. Shraddha, totally interrelated. Yes. External and internal activities. Hitesh, good. Then anyone else? Put it up. Whatever I told you, there is no right answer, there's no wrong answer. Okay. It's just an answer. That's all. You just put it up. Factors influencing the business. Good. Deepti. Yes. Surroundings of business enterprises. Yes. Perfect. Refer to factor, individual that are outside the control which will affect the business. Diksha. Yes. Perfect. So if anyone is typing, please raise your hand so that I'll know that you're typing and I'll wait for your answer. No one? Yes, as you guys have rightly said, business environment is nothing but the factors. It can be internal factor or external factor which will affect the business, and it is not in the control of any organization. And as Ruchita said, it is a surrounding in which the business exists. Okay, it can be any kind of external environment or external surroundings where the business exists. So as I said, so the apt word was given to me by Ruchita. So good. So it is a surrounding in which the business exists. So now as an organization, I interact. Okay, I interact and I do transact these environments. So as I told you, the business and also this external environment. When we speak about business environment, we usually concentrate on the external environment rather than the internal environment, right? Why? Because internal environment we have to a major extent, to a major extent we have some control over it, whereas external environment very little control an organization has. Either I can say very little, or I can also say that there is no control at all. Yes. So an organization, when we speak of business environment related to an organization, we will be speaking about external environment. So what are these external environment? It can be your supplier, it can be your competitor, it can be your consumers, it can be the law and order, it can be the politics in your place, it can be the market, the preference, the style, fashions, investors, technology, any of these, or all of these, or a combination of these. Yes, so these will be considered as the business environment, or I can say external environment. So we know that these, an organization and also this external environment, they are interrelated to each other, they are interdependent on each other. Because without my consumers, there is no use of an organization. The organization cannot exist. Correct? So similarly, if the organization is there, the income from it will also result in the economy, the boost in the economy. So in that case, what happens? N number of things. This is just an example which I gave you between the economy, organization, and the consumers. But all these factors which we spoke about as external factors, they somewhere or the other they influence the organization, and influence in another way this, or organization in another way influences these factors. Okay, so that's why we call it as they are interdependent on each other. So now we know that these environments are dynamic in nature. Dynamic in the sense, what is the meaning of dynamic? What is the meaning of dynamic? I know it's there in the slide. So tell me, what is the meaning of dynamic? Yes, it keeps changing. Thank you, Richa. It keeps changing, Hitesh. Yes, thank you. It keeps on changing, and it keeps on changing in a frequent way. Okay, I'm not saying that once in a way, 5 years. There are certain factors which might change, in a very long stretch gap. But whereas there are certain factors which has a frequent change, and in that one very frequently changing factor is the consumer's taste, fashion, preference. This keeps on changing. What was yesterday, today it is different. Yes, the type of clothes, the type of footwears, the handbags, anything related to the fashion, especially when it comes, our taste and preference keeps on changing. So good morning, Shrijan. So that is, we call it as dynamic. Hence, we call an environment to be dynamic in nature. And how are they? Are they certain? Can I predict the change? Obviously, I cannot predict the change. Hence, why we call it as uncertain factor. So, a business environment is dynamic in nature. Dynamic means changing and uncertain. So, it not only changes, it does not let an expert to predict it also. Yes. So, when we under, for an organization, obviously, it's very important that they have to stay in the market. They have to survive. And to survive in the market, the organization should be able to understand the pattern of changing. Definitely, I cannot say as an organization that 100% I can predict what is going to come. But if you know the pattern, if you know the mechanism, how it is changing, or if you keep a keen eye on the changes, what is happening, so that when it comes, right, you will be the first one to be intimated. If you're that keen on it, then yes, you will be able to survive in the market. So business environment, we can say it brings not only opportunity but also uncertainty. So it helps the organization to boost in the business, to gain profit, to survive in the market, to expand its business. At the same time, it brings uncertainty where the business can be completely doomed. It'll go out of the market, it will be lost, they have to lay off their employees, etc. So it is the both the factors are there. It is opportunity and also uncertainty. Now, how do I decide as an organization whether this change is an opportunity to me or an uncertainty? Is by keeping an eye on it, and whatever change comes, to be the first organization to implement it. Yes, because my competitors are always behind my tail. Our competitors, why they exist? Not only to stay in the market, but their main purpose is to throw us out of the market. Correct? Then only they'll be able to capture the market. Hence, they also keep an eye on it. So make sure that your sources are so important, so reliable, that whenever change comes, your organization is intimated. You can adapt to that change faster than your competitors. Yes. So this is few words about the business environment. I'll be moving on to definitions. We'll just go through the definitions. given by Keith Davis and Andrew. So Keith Davis say that business environment is aggregate of all conditions, events, and influence that surrounds and affect it. So business environment, it can be an event, it can be an condition also. Right now, the corona pandemic is a condition. It is also a part of business environment. Yes. So what it does, it influence whatever is surrounding it. So it can be an organization, a big organization. It can be a small organization or a small business, or it can be even a person who is doing, an entrepreneur who doesn't have any existence or recognition at home at low scale, if he's doing, even that can be. So whichever surrounds that particular environment, it gets affected by it. So that was according to Kate Davis. According to Andrew, the environment of a company as the pattern of all external influence that affects its life and development. Yes, business environment is such a factor which obviously has the external influence, and it will affect the life and development. Life, when I say that, it has the capability, business environment has the capability to end the life of an organization. Yes, at the same time, it has also the capability to stop the development of the organization. So the organization should be very careful when it is dealing with the business environment. So this was the definition of business environment. We'll move on to the next slide. Some of the features. Again, I won't be going in depth because we know what are these features means. If I give you the term itself, you'll be in a position to explain it to me. So we'll just go forward. The first feature is all the external forces. So business environment is not just one external force, or it is not a combination of internal and external force, but it is the sum total of all external factors, right? Whatever we spoke about, the competitors, consumers, the suppliers, government rules, technology, law and order, politics, all of these. So all of this, when it is summed up together, it is called as business environment. Yes. Second, it can be a specific force or it can be a general force. As I told you before itself, an environment can affect one particular business or more than one particular business, or it can affect the entire business fraternity of a country. For example, if there is any kind of changes in tax of a country, yes, so in that case, all the businesses get affected. So it is called as a general force. Business environment becomes general force because in general, every business is affected by increase or decrease of the tax. Specific force. If there is an increase in tax in import of raw material, particular raw material, okay, it can be the spices, it can be any kind of iron and steel. So if there is an increase in import duty of the iron and steel related any objects, then obviously your iron and steel industry gets affected by it, or any other industry relating to iron and steel will be getting affected by it. So it is called as a specific force. So business environment can be a specific force effect also. It can have a general force effect also. Next, interrelation. So we know that all the factors of these business environment, they themselves are interrelated among each other. The first point in last slide, we saw that an organization and the factors are interrelated, correct? So here there is another thing which contradict that point is all the factors by themselves are interrelated to each other. So how are they related? If you remember or recollect, we have spoken about an example called as awareness of good health. Yes. So awareness is in general, Corona time especially, when people are more aware of the good health. So what is getting more sold and which business is boosted up or boomed, which business doomed? If you have to compare the booming business and the dooming business, I can say that all the fast foods I have checked, have seen the downfall now. Also the malls, the shopping centers, they have seen the downfalls now. Whereas all Ayurvedic related factors, the vegetable peoples, the grocery peoples, the vegetables, especially vegetables and fruit vendors, they have seen a boost up. The fresh fruit juice people, the gym people, all those things have seen a boost up in their business. Yes. Now I think almost every alternative house drink that kashaya, right? In the morning one, evening one. So imagine what and all goes into it. Yeah, it can be your turmeric, it can be your ginger, it can be n number of items which goes into it. So before Corona, the turmeric usage in a house, if it was one packet of 250 gram, per month, now because of this kashaya, what happened? It is somewhere coming into half kg. So half kg to almost 1 kg, I can say. So per house, the usage of turmeric powder alone has increased with extra half kg. So imagine every alternative house is drinking kashaya now. So what should be the business for those people who are dealing with the turmeric powders or with the gingers or with that all the melanelli, something and all they put, right? All those gooseberries and all. So those things, obviously the agriculture people, they are also benefited by this. Yes, agri field or whoever are dealing with this, it is boost up. So one situation relates are they are interrelated to each other. Why? Because we started doing things. So obviously grocery, if I go buy the turmeric powder from a grocery shop, his sale is increased. In turn, what he do, he puts more demand for the products to his wholesaler. The wholesaler business is boom. The wholesaler who get it from a local vendor anywhere or a local producer, his business is boomed. Yes, not only that, we started eating more during Corona time, correct? Lots of, we stopped going outside, but we started ordering or we started cooking at home, all different dishes. Ingredients for that, we started putting on weight. So once the Corona or everything got opened up after the lockdown, gym business started. Especially females, they became more health conscious because they have been cooking and eating, feeding also. Yes, so such kind of things. One business is affected by another business. It can be a positive effect, it can be a negative effect. Similarly, because of this, many of the fast food shops, they saw downfall. Many of the tender coconut people, they saw the boom in the business. So vice versa. Yes, one change. The change was Corona. That's all. Whereas it had a negative effect and it had also a positive effect in the environment. So that's why we call it as interrelated. Uncertainty, we know it is dynamic in nature. We cannot predict what the change can come. Yes, it can be in technology, it can be in fashion, taste, we cannot predict. But to certain extent, I can take a risk by assuming what can happen. So I should be ready. I should keep an eye. Even my assumption should make sure that the assumption should not go wrong. Yes, that's why that's what it is about. Uncertainty, dynamic. We know that it is highly flexible. It keeps changing, hence regular monitoring. Your dynamic and uncertainty links together. Why? Because of its dynamic, it keeps changing. That factor. Obviously, what happens is I cannot predict what will be the next change. So next change assumption only I have to do, but be sure that your assumption is correct. So for that, what and all tools I require? It can be getting expert advice. It can be, being in the market for a longer time or having contacts with the higher authorities, political parties, legal related, anything. Maintain your contacts. That will help you a lot. That is what is dynamic about. The next feature is complex. Why do we say it is complex? Because it is easy to scan. As I said, you can have contacts, you can predict. They might tell you that yes, the government is planning to bring up such kind of a change. Though it is not implemented, it is planning. So scanning of environment, it is comparatively okay. If you have the right source, you can do. But to know the impact of it, how will that change affect your business? That is difficult. Why? Because my business is not mine alone. It has related to many people. There are employees working with me. I have suppliers. I have consumers. So my business is related to many people. So if a change affects me, it might affect them. So how does it affect them? Will they take it in a positive way or negative way? Even that will affect my business. Yes, as I told you, the tax increase in price, increase in tax of normal consumer products and all, it might increase one packet, biscuit packets rate from 10 rupees to 12 rupees or 13 rupees. Yes. Now, if I'm planning to not compromise in the quality, not compromise in packaging, not compromise in advertisement, obviously I'll put there 15 rupees. Person who's buying it, yes, for him, now he will decide whether he want to buy your product with 15 rupees itself or does he want to go for some other product and ready to compromise with the quality and pay 12 rupees? So if he decides that yes, he wants to compromise, then your business is affected. Though you have prepared well for the business environment, though you have adapted the business environment, though you have met the challenge, someone else's decision of not adapting to the change might also affect your business. So that is why we call it as very complex. Business environment is very complex in nature. The next is relativity. So the impact of business environment, as I said, it depends or it differs from one country to another country, one region to another region, one firm to another firm. So we had checked into the example of cool drinks, right? The Coke and Pepsi and all. We saw that there was a conflict about pesticide being in it. But the sale of it, how much it got affected in foreign countries, it didn't get affected that much in India. Similarly, now recent thing, I think 6 months back or something, even that example we discussed, the Domino's pizza. So it was a conflict came that they are using, instead of cheese, they are using dalda. Yes, many countries in abroad they have banned Domino's, but here Domino's has the highest sale. Yes, hence the impact of that business environment it will differ from one country to another country or one business to another business also. So this was about the features of business environment. We'll be moving on to the different dimensions. So as per the dimension, we know that there is economic environment. What and all other different business environment that is called as dimension. Yes. So one is economic environment, social environment, environment. Individually, we'll see what is this. So economic environment, as the name suggests, it is related to economy, correct? So economy in which you live, it can be any kind of policies, it can be any kind of increase or decrease in interest rate, inflation, deflation, stock market fluctuations. It can be related to your foreign currency values or import export duties that has been increased or decreased, anything. All of these will come under your economic environment, correct? So if one any of these are affected, then automatically the business related to it will be affected. So if I'm a person whose organization, now example, I have to take a stock market fluctuation, it keeps happening, right? So if my organization has invested in stock market, if I have shares for the public, I have given the shares for the public, so automatically with the fluctuation, my organization will be affected. But if I am an organization who's in the same business, but I have not given my shares to the public, yes, in that case, obviously the fluctuation in the share market or the stock market will not affect my business. Okay? So this is how your environment will be, the economic environment when I speak about. Economy wise, any change come, if the organization is related to that changes, then it will be affected by it. Yes. The next, so what and all will come under economic environment that you have to remember. Industrial policy, export import policy, short-term interest loan, long-term interest loan, rate of inflation, stock market fluctuation, domestic values, currency, foreign currency, value of currency, all those things will be affected. So next is social environment. When we speak about social, it is about society. Correct? The society in which we live, and we know that for an organization to exist, being, socially being able to adapt is very important. If I'm one kind of I'm doing a business, for example, a clothing business, and it is a festival time. Now it started, right? It's a festival time. But I'm not putting up a new stock because I'm least bothered about the that the business will boom or there will be a demand. I'm not bothered about that. Whatever stock is there, I feel that let it get over. Then if needed, I'll put up the stocks. So what will happen? People come to your shop, they check it up. So now for Dasera, they might buy something for you from your shop. Next again for Diwali, they'll come. They see that they have seen already the old stock on it is there. Nothing new has come. Obviously, they'll not come to your shop. Correct? So social environment, it not only about the festives, it's about the belief, it's about the tradition. So when I do a business related to the society, I should make sure that I do not offend the people. Yes, it can be religion wise offense, it can be tradition wise offense. I should not offend my customers. That is more important. Yeah, I cannot put that no entry for so and so religion people, no entry for so and so caste people, or etc. etc. Or they should not touch the clothes, they should not do this. So much of restrictions and all. If I put, obviously no one will come. So here, what and all will come under? Yeah, Titanic is an example. Correct, Shraddha. So here what we have to, as a social environment I'm speaking about is, it can be the attitude of the people, it can be belief, it can be the desire of the people, traditions, education, population, culture, any kind of event, consumer awareness, role of NGOs, all such things will come under your social environment. Okay. So being an MCQ questions and all, they'll ask you, they might ask you like, what will come under social environment? Or they'll tell you this. Is this or which of this, for example, if I put tradition and education comes under which environment? So obviously you should be ready to answer for that. Yes. Related to all these, whatever I said, it can be festives, culture, awareness, tradition, belief, desire, attitude. It is social environment. So we'll move on to the political environment. So political conditions, yes, stability of the market, or sorry, stability of the government, peace in the country, and also the attitude of the government towards the business. As I told you before, each government, when they come into as a ruling party, so what they do is they have the same perspective about business as the previous party had. Correct? They might have some innovative ideas which they want to implement, which will help you to boost your business. So, positive attitude, I can say. Or they might feel that investment in this might be a loss, hence, they might remove. If there is a public investment, they might remove that investment and put up in some other organization. So, it will be a negative impact on your business. Yes. So all these things matters, and all these things comes under political environment, political condition, stability of the government, peace in the country, attitude of the government towards the activity. So obviously political stability, when we speak about, stability decides how much, how can you invest, how long term, how much of investment should be done for which term. Because when a government is stable, we know that this government approves my project, hence I can further invest for 5 years, 10 years, because I know this is the government. But every 5 years, once the government changes, I will be confused where to invest, because one government is supporting my business, one government is opposing my business. Similarly, foreign investment. If the government is stable, it attracts lots of foreign investment in a country, and that is very important for a country's economy to grow. Yes. So, political instability and unrest can shake the confidence of the investor. Attitude of the government and its officials can be positive or negative influence on the business. As I said, if you're supporting the business, positive. If you're opposing the business as a political party, opposing the business, it will have a negative influence. So this is about political environment. We move on to the legal. So here legal, when we speak about, it can be your government policies, it can be a court's decision, it can be an economic law or a commercial law related issue, it can be any kind of legislation that is passed in the government, or it is passed in the any kind of meetings. Yes. So all of these will come under your legal and will be affecting your business. Why? Because I am doing business in this country, and abiding the law and order of this country is my responsibility. Correct? Because I am here, obviously, whatever law and order is there, I have to follow that law. I don't have any other option. I cannot say no. Hence, if I don't want to also forcefully, I have to do it. So that is when your legal environment will affect your business. To some extent, you can make sure that you're prepared any kind of changes in legal environment. And how do you prepare is through your legal advisors. It can be your lawyers or anyone. So legal advisors, what happens is legal related issues, right? Immediately it won't be implemented many of the times. I'm not saying always, but most of the times, immediate implementation of legal related issues will not be done in the country. Yes, there are lots of protocols to be followed. So whenever a change is decided, from the decision to the implementation, there is a gap. And if you have an advisor who has a keen watch on this, definitely he'll intimate you and accordingly be ready to change or adapt to the changes. Yes. So this is about legal environment. We'll move on to the last environment, which is technological environment. So technology, we know another, apart from your taste, preference, passion, another fast changing environment is technology, right? The mobile phone, which we thought, it is the upgraded one, fast moving one, or it has all the options, all the features today. We might buy that, but after 1 month, if you see, one more new version will come, few extra features. So we have a feeling, right? Couldn't we have waited for one more month? Have you come across such kind of a feelings? Why couldn't I wait for one more month or few more months so that I could have bought for the same price? I could have bought something, extra with some new features. Yes, Shraddha. I don't know what you brought, Shraddha and Surabhi. Many times it happens. Yes, technology, it's very fast moving one and very dynamic one. And so we know that technological improvement we have seen. I don't have to speak much about it. We have seen either from your school days till your college now, what and all technology wise development has come in the country. It can be your banking system, it can be your way of teaching methods also now, or it can be your laptops, computers, mobiles, iPads, any kind of thing. Lots of technology development in has happened. Yes. So obviously, this is one particular field where an organization will be affected in a bigger way. Because if as an organization, I have not kept an eye on technology, okay, whereas my competitor has kept, and some new technology has come which might, reduce my cost of production to half, whereas I end up, giving me double profit because my cost of production, if it is reduced, and if on that I am getting a profit, then the profit will be doubled up, correct? So he has identified the change and he has bought that machinery. Using that, he has done his production and he has sold the product. Trust me, because he's getting double profit, what he'll do, he'll reduce the price which than yours. So automatically consumer have a tendency to go to a low priced product with good quality. Correct? If I'm giving a good quality with less price than competitors, obviously customers will come to me. Why will I give in a less price? Because my production cost is reduced. So even if I reduce my price, it is a double profit for me. So your hit, your business is a doomed one because your competitor has done that. So keep an eye on technological environment and it keeps on changing. Okay. So this was about all different types of environments. So next concept which we'll discuss is entrepreneurship scenario. So why entrepreneurship is important for a country and what and all, why did the government feel that they have to take initiative to boost the entrepreneurship? What and all were the initiatives taken by the government to bring up entrepreneurship? So those three concepts we'll discuss. Now, what is entrepreneurship scenario? Entrepreneurship is nothing but starting up a new business. Yes, a businessman. So instead of working, start up your own business, use some invest. So that concept is called as, earn money and at the same time help others to earn money. That concept is called as entrepreneurship. Now, why it is important? Second question, why it is important for a country? Why? Because as much as entrepreneurship grows, your economy grows. You pay tax, correct? Either for your business purpose, you pay tax or your income. When your income increases, automatically a country's income also increases. Because of your business, what happens? N number of subdivided people. Either it can be the people who are supplying you the raw materials, it can be your employees or people who are supplying you the machineries, or your electricity, you pay electricity bill, you pay rental, land rental, or you purchase a place, anything. You're paying, there is a money movement. Yes, in the economy, there is a financial movement because of which your economy will also increase. So that is why entrepreneurship is very much important for a country. If you check many of the developed countries, they are more, the percentage of entrepreneurship is more over there. Yes. So now how it is done? Why the government has taken initiative to foster entrepreneurship? Why? Because it will add to the national income. It will give an increase or boost in the employment opportunity for the people or for the related people, I can say. So when the national income is boomed up, whenever there is an opportunity, the income earning capacity of an individual increases. When his earning capacity increases, automatically I spend more, correct? If today I've been earning 5,000 rupees in this current job and my expense were 2,000 somewhere, 3,000 was my saving. Next month, I got one new offer where my salary is 10,000 rupees, so 5,000 more. So instead of spending 2,000, I'll spend 4,000 and 6,000. I'll keep it as my savings. So earning capacity increased. Similarly, along with it, my spending capacity also increased. When I spend, automatically, directly or indirectly, I'm contributing to the national income. I'm paying the tax from the person whom I'm buying. He's buying from someone, he's paying the tax, correct? And the person from he buys some raw material from someone, he pays the tax. So indirectly or directly, national income is also increased. So when nation's income increase, what do? Even they spend. Similar, like how we spend when we have good income, they also spend. But where do they spend? They invest in the struggling sectors. They invest in the infrastructure of the country, etc., etc. So when they do that, my nation is growing, correct? So that is why entrepreneurship is important. Now to the last question, what and all initiatives were taken by the government of India? Here is the answer for that. Make in India policy, Stand Up India, India, Skill India, and investment in physical infrastructure. So before I go to Make in India, can anyone tell me what is Make in India in few words or maybe one sentence? What is Make in India? What was Make in India concept? We had discussed about it. Make in India concept. Yes, Shraddha. Good. Tell us what Shraddha said later. Okay. Yes, Hitesh. Perfect. The apt technical term which I looked for, Hitesh gave me. So good, Hitesh. Then anyone else who wants to contribute something to the Make in India concept? Miss Deeksha, Impal, Shraddha, Ruchita says directly. No, ma'am. Yes, Surabhi, good again. You also gave me the almost same word as Hitesh. So good. Yes, Shrijan. She remembered one more point. Very good. So I'll go and I'll check from each one's chat box. Shraddha, making the goods in India by itself. Yes, very good. Hitesh says manufacturing hub. Yes, government wants India to be made as a manufacturing hub. There's Surabhi who says transforming India into a global manufacturing hub. Perfect. Srujan says government had encouraged the 25 major sectors. Very good. Nishant, it is designed to facilitate investment, foster innovation, enhance skill development. Apt. Very good. Okay, so I am happy. I'm happy that you guys, at least after classes, you had gone through it. So again, we'll go into Make in India concept. Major part, all the videos and all, I have taken it out. So only the concept will be explained over here. So it came during the government of Narendra Modi. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched this concept of Make in India on September 25th, 2014. So what was it? Here is a Nishant's apt word. This concept or this design of Make in India was brought up for investment. They wanted to facilitate investment in the country. They wanted some innovation to be brought up. They wanted to develop the skill of the youth people, especially the youth. They wanted to make sure. Yes, Gautam has given a tagline actually for Make in India. It is like go and sell in any country, but manufacture in India. Correct? Very well, Gautam. Innovative tagline actually. They could have utilized. So, or else there is one tagline which is actual, that is come and manufacture in India. Yes. So this is what is Make in India concept about. So not only they wanted to put up investment, they wanted some innovative ideas from the youth. They wanted to develop the skills of the youth. They wanted to make the best use of the infrastructure, manufacturing infrastructure especially. So the parts, including if it is a mobile, they wanted to manufacture not only mobile but also its hardware, software, its parts, everything manufactured in India. That is one of the example. Like that in various industries. If you have ideas, come up with ideas. Come to us. That was a concept. Yes. So the purpose of making Make in India is to make India the global manufacturing hub. As who and all told me, Hitesh and Shrujan or someone, right? Not Shrujan. Who was that? Surabhi, yes. So as rightly said, to make India as a manufacturing hub, a global manufacturing hub. We'll produce if you want, buy it from us, as Gautam said. Buy it or sell it in any country, but manufacture should happen in India. That is a concept. And again, as Shrujan rightly said, this targets, the initiative was targeted into 25 sectors, economic sectors. Especially, they wanted to create job over there and they wanted to develop the skills. Okay. So here where the four major pillars is new process. This idea, Make in India concept was they wanted some new process to be brought up, not old one, already used one. No, they wanted new process. They wanted a new infrastructure, new sector. If you can innovate something in the new sector, go ahead. We are ready to help you. That was the concept. And new mindset. That is new innovation, new thoughts, new ideas. Yes. So based on these four pillars, the Make in India concept was brought up. So what was the main objective of Make in India here? They wanted to increase the manufacturing growth rate from 12% to 14% per annum. So per annum, I can say 2% increase in the manufacturing growth. Next, they wanted to create 100 million, manufacturing jobs. So by 2022, they wanted to create 100 million job opportunity in the manufacturing field. Third main objective was to ensure that this manufacturing sector's contribution to the GDP should be increased by 25%. So obviously, everything will contribute to the GDP of a country, correct? So when from the manufacture sector alone, they wanted an increase of 25% of contribution towards GDP. So these three were the major objectives. I repeat, what are the major objectives? Please try to remember. One, they wanted the manufacturing sector's growth rate to be increased to 14% per annum. 12 to 14% per annum. Okay. So sorry, it is not 2% per annum, it is 12 to 14% per annum. Second, they wanted 100 million additional job facilities or job opportunity, where in the marketing field alone, not about the other sectors, only from the manufacturing, sorry, not from the marketing, from the manufacturing. From the manufacturing sector alone, they wanted to provide 100 million job opportunity by 2002. Third major contribution or objective they had in the mind is from the manufacturing sectors, the contribution to the country's GDP should be increased by 25%. By 2022, later it was revised to 2025. Okay, so this were the three major objectives of Make in India. So what was the impact of it? What and all through this Make in India concept, what every state were given certain, I can say goals and objectives they were given, that you have to finish this much of target. You have to contribute from your state for this much, under Make in India concept, as a state, your contribution should be this much percentage. So based on that target, each state, they had contributed to it. So what are those contributions? One is a Make in Odisha, Tamil Nadu Global Investor Meet, vibrant Gujarat, happening Haryana, and magnetic Maharashtra. So these were some of the concepts or some of the titles I can say under which your concepts were initiated. So here what they did was, they contributed or they kept meetings and the manufacturers, they kept speaking, they approached lots of management related institutions to the students. They collected their ideas, they helped, supported them to, implement their ideas. So such kind of things were done where skill were also developed, the ideas were encouraged, investment were done by the government where the ideas were related to the normal citizen, especially the youngsters. So currently, as of I think 2019, this is Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Haryana, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and West Bengal are the top 6 states who were able to give a positive initiative in Make in India concept or under Make in India concept. Okay, so this was the objective and impact of Make in India. I'll be going up to the Stand Up India. So, any doubt in Make in India? Shall we move on to the Stand Up India concept? Okay. So Stand Up India concept is nothing but they wanted to encourage, setting up of greenfield enterprises by whom the scheduled caste people, scheduled tribe, and the women entrepreneurs. So scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, they are the backward caste wise, they are the backward caste people. So there were certain times, yes, now you can see that every field there is certain quotas given for them. Yes, but whereas they will not come forward for starting up of business because they feel that either the investment wise or education wise they are a bit backwards. Yes, education, yes, now they are into all field, everywhere the concession is given to them and they are coming forward, but business, to do a business they didn't have an option. That's why the Stand Up India scheme came up. So scheduled caste people, scheduled tribe people, and also the women entrepreneurs, they could benefit from the Stand Up India scheme. So this was launched again in Narendra Modi's period, 5th April 2016. Okay, so they wanted to make the people from these castes and the women as an entrepreneurship. The condition was they should be above 18 years. The candidate, either from SC, ST, or a women candidate, they should be above 18 years, then they are eligible for it. Yeah, there are some eligibility criteria which we'll check out. Okay, so this initiative whose in charge was DFS, that is Department of Financial Service, Ministry of Finance, and Government of India. So these three were the running in charge of this particular scheme, Stand Up India. And what and all are the points under it is bank loan will be provided to the people. You know who the people are, yes? SC, ST, and women. So bank loan were provided. How much? Between 10 lakh to 1 crore. Okay. So it is provided to one SC, one or ST. Sorry. SC and ST can be only one candidate. One SC or ST and one women candidate per branch per bank. So each bank per branch is eligible to go for Stand Up India scheme and it can offer to one SC or ST and one women entrepreneur. So two they can apply. So the scheme per branch for two they can give the loan. Yes. So now for whom am I giving the loan? I know who's in charge of it. I know how much loan can be given. What is the condition criteria? How much loan can be provided? Only for one SC and or ST and one entrepreneur. But to do what? I am a woman entrepreneur or under woman candidate if I approach the bank to set up, any kind of business, non-greenfield business also. In that case, I will not be provided the loan. So I have to set up a greenfield enterprise only. So before I go to the next point, what is greenfield enterprise? What is greenfield enterprise? Who can give me the ideas? A new enterprise, Hitesh. Okay. Ruman, okay, Ruman, after a long time. Okay, form a new enterprise started with non-used land, Ruman. Okay, good. Diksha, new field not used. Okay. Enterprise which creates no pollution. Okay, good. So enterprise, new field. Okay. We'll see what is greenfield. Okay, the next slide we'll see. So here the loan is provided to only start up a greenfield enterprise, and this greenfield enterprise can be in manufacturing sector or a service sector or a trading sector also. No issues. Okay, and it is provided to whom? Individual person, SC or ST, and one women entrepreneur. Now, individual people are given. Can an organization come under or get loan under scheme? Yes, definitely an organization or a non-individual enterprise can get the loan under Greenfield Enterprise, but the condition is at least the 51 percentage of the shareholder and the controlling stake should be either in the hand of a woman or in the hand of a person who is from SC caste or an ST caste. Okay, I repeat this point. A non-individual enterprise, that is an organization, can also apply for bank under Stand Up India scheme, and they might be dealing with the Greenfield enterprise also, but they can get the loan. They are eligible to get the loan only if 51 percentage of their shareholders. When you have a 51% shareholder, obviously that person becomes the controlling authority of that organization. So they should have 51% of shareholding plus controlling stake. It should be in the hand of either a woman or a person from SC or an ST. Okay. So borrower, apart from that, there's one more condition. I am a woman. I am standing up for this. I'm starting a greenfield enterprise. Every criteria I fulfill, but I am a defaulter in a bank. Defaulter is I have already got a loan, but I was not able to repay the loan. Hence, the bank has declared me as a default account. Okay. In that case, I will not be eligible to get this particular scheme or loan. Clear? So it was about Stand Up India scheme. We saw who is in charge of it, to whom the loan is given, how much the loan is given, per branch, how much they have the eligibility to give the loan. It is to the starting up of what kind of enterprise. This greenfield can be into manufacturing, service, or trading. If a non-individual approach, then what is the condition? And a borrower should not be a defaulter to any bank. So this was the about Stand Up India scheme. Greenfield. So as you see, greenfield is referred to a building which is constructed on a field that is literally green, means new. So you should be able to, for your business, you cannot demolish an existing building. You cannot remodel an existing building, sorry, and start your business there. You should construct a building in a new area, where already a building was not existing. So I cannot demolish, I cannot reconstruct or remodel any kind of building. It should be done as a new from the land. So this project means that work which is not following a prior work. That is, why I cannot demolish, why I cannot remodel, because if you demolish and remodel an existing building, it means that you're following up from that work, right? So greenfield project should not be a follow-up work. It should be a fresh and a new work. Okay. About greenfield enterprise, as you all rightly said. Ruchita, is it a question or is it is it an information? Okay. So Ruchita is asking only SC, ST or a woman can do greenfield enterprise. No, anyone can do greenfield enterprise. Okay, anyone can do greenfield enterprise. Anyone can approach bank for loan for greenfield enterprise under stand-up scheme. Under stand-up scheme, if I am approaching the bank for loan, then it should be a greenfield enterprise and I should be a woman or a person from SC or an ST. Clear, Ruchita? Greenfield enterprise is nothing new, okay? I can start up my own business. If today I want, I can start up my own business into it. But imagine a person approaching for the bank loan and I don't have money, so obviously I can approach the bank. Bank will also give me loan, but it will not give me under the stand-up because I might be a man, I might be not from an SC or ST caste. Yes, I might have a bank default already, or I might have some loans in the same bank. Anything it can be. Okay, just because I'm doing a greenfield enterprises, I will not be eligible for that particular scheme. I can do it, yes, as I said, but it will not be coming under Stand Up India. Okay, Ruchita, clear? Yes. Next is Startup India. Till now we saw what and all Make in India, Stand Up India concept. And under Stand Up India, we saw about Greenfield also. So this is Startup India now. So Startup India again, it was launched by Shri Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, on 16th January 2016. So this is an initiative by the government for what? To generate employment and to create wealth in the country. So main purpose, the objective I can say of Startup India is employment opportunity to generate employment and second is to create wealth. So what is the goal of Startup India? Is you have to develop innovative products and services. Okay. So only when I develop innovative products or services through entrepreneurship, I am giving employment opportunity to the people of my own country. Correct? So here, if you have to register your organization under Startup India, you should be either a partnership firm, LLP firm, that is limited liability firm, or it has to be the private limited company. Okay, under this you can register yourself. So this is of Startup India. We'll see some other points also. So what are the benefits of Startup India? So Startup India is what happens. So it gives you financial benefit. So now, as I told you, Startup India encourages innovations. Innovation is still now has done that and also create this idea. So when I become the first person to innovate something, I have to get patent for that. So what is patent? Yes, Shrujan, Startup India. Be a job creator, not a job seeker. Okay, what is patent? Okay. Anyone else? What is patent? I'm done. Okay. So now what is patent? Granting patent. You have to register for patent. Patent. I'm asking what's patent. Sorry, a small technical glitch. Yes. So what is patent? Patent. Not getting much of ideas today from my students. My voice is breaking. Is that so? My voice breaking. Okay. Now it's proper. Okay, done. There was little bit technical issues here. My internet. Okay, so now we go back to patent. Someone rightly gave me the apt word. Wait, I'll have to. Now, Dipti, if you say that word, then I'll ask you what that is. Okay. Yes, Ruchita. As Ruchita said, it is a license. Yes, patent is nothing but a government license given to you because you have created something, correct? So it gives the authority for the usage of it, and it gives you the authority that others doesn't use it. So if I have innovated something and if I have took a patent in my name, next whoever, same idea someone else might also get, right? So that particular innovation will not be getting any kind of patent because same innovation is already done by so without your permission, no one can use it, no one can get the protocol of it, or no one can try to the innovation is yours. By all means, you can name it also. You can give your name for that innovation. Is it only for Ruchita or for everyone? I'm not audible. Okay. Okay, okay, got it, got it. Come. I just switched the network. Yes, is it fine now? Is my voice fine now? Yes? Okay. We'll go ahead with it then without wasting much time. As I said, patent, so financial benefit what is given to an innovator, a new person who is giving new ideas in the manufacturing field is to register the patent, I have to spend huge amount of huge sum of money. Hence, 80% of the patent cost will be refunded by the government to you. So imagine last chat box, I think last person is Shrujan. Okay. So Shrujan, if she has come up with some new ideas, okay, and want to register the patent, just because of the cost, the cost is almost more than how much you spend for the innovation. To create that innovation, how much you spend, your patent cost will be a little bit equal or more than that. Hence, because of that, you are hesitant to maybe financial problem which will be there. So because of that, you might not register your product. So what will happen? It will not come out. It will not be known to the government that you have created something. Hence, what the government says, Shrujan, you go ahead with the patent. 80% of the patent cost I will pay you. Yes, at the same time, it also tells that your patent registration and any other related documents and all will make the registration very faster process. Not only that, Shrujan needs a facilitator to register the patent from the government. Actually, facilitator is a person from the government. So the facilitator, the fees also has to be paid by Shrujan. Okay. So now the government says 80% I'll give you patent cost. I'll refund it to you. I'll make the process go faster also. And for facilitator also, you need not pay anything. I myself will pay. The government says it. Yes. So happily won't Shrujan go and register, for the patent, okay, do it, correct? Hence, financial benefit, a huge burden was the patent cost and the facilitator cost. That was taken from the individual person's head. So that was one benefit. Income tax benefit. Now I have registered my organization, I have incorporated my organization. So now what the government says is, yes, yours is a new concern, new organization, so n number of taxes, income tax you'll have to pay, correct? So first 3 years I'll exempt those tax for you, because that is a time when you won't see the break even also. Many of the new manufacturing concerns will be, or the new entrepreneurship organization will be at loss in the first year. Second year, almost after third year only, they'll see a break even point. So already when I'm lost, paying income tax will be another burden to us, correct? Hence, the government says that for 3 years I exempt your tax. But to avail that, you have to get a certificate from interministerial board saying that this is your incorporation date. Until this year, you will not be able to pay the tax, and you have registered under the Startup India. And also, if you have gained any kind of capital, that is money you have invested somewhere and you have reaped the benefit. For example, stock market, you have invested your organization into stock market, and there you have got some profit. That profit usually is taxable, but for a certain time or certain period of time, that will not be taxable for you, it will be exempted. Okay, so that is an income tax benefit. Registration benefit. So under registration, a proper system has been made, an application has been created, a single meeting only will be arranged between the Startup India Hub and the person who is an entrepreneur. All the doubts, everything will be clarified over there, what and all document they need, everything they'll tell you in the one meeting itself. So going back again, that kind of unnecessary time waste will be avoided. Government tenders, usually government doesn't give its tender to a Startup India because it is a huge money involved, a huge responsibility. So without experience and for a new organization they won't give. Whereas under Startup India scheme, what they have decided is to give priority to those organizations who have registered under this scheme. So priority government will give you, and they will also not ask for any prior experience. Yes, so obviously it is the one particular situation where the organization or the entrepreneur will take this tender and prove that they can do something better than the others, because as I told you, it's an innovative mind involved over them, correct? So huge network opportunities. So under this Startup India scheme, what the government has done, they have made sure that at regular time, regular intervals, all the people who comes under the Startup India, they have a meetup somewhere, so that they can discuss their ideas, share their thoughts. And apart from that, the government also has conducted two Startup Fest annually. That is every year. Till now, two Startup Fest they conducted, one domestic and one in an international way. And also what they do, they have provided intellectual property awareness workshop. They created workshop where the people who have registered for startup can come, they can represent that idea. The people who will coming to those workshops, they can give their opinion about your product. So you'll get vice versa, lots of ideas, lots of, even if there's negativity, it will be told over there, so you can overcome your negativity. So these are some of the benefits of Startup India. Shall we move on? Financial benefit, income tax benefit, registration, others opportunities. The next one is Skill India we saw. So Skill India, it is nothing but your national skill development mission. So as a country, we had launched a mission which related to developing the skills of our country. So Skill India concept is a byproduct of that. This was launched by again Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 15 July 2015. So this is managed by NSDC, we call it as, that is National Skill Development Corporation of India. So Skill India, it is a byproduct of National Skill Development Mission of India, and it is managed by National Skill Development Corporation of India. Okay, so what was this about? It is to train the people, yes, in different skills. So it is not only too technically, they wanted to train people in different fields based on their interest. Okay, so some of the initiatives that were taken up under this campaign was National Skill Development Mission, National Policy for the Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, Skill Loan Scheme, Rural India Skill, International Skill Training, Technical Intern Training Program. So Technical Intern Training Program is nothing but TITP. Yes, and Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana is PMKVY. So you might get the abbreviation also in this, or any one not the CFG, because we'll be discussing about the CFG point. Apart from that, they might ask you Rural India Skill or Skill Loan Scheme, under which campaign it comes. Such kind of questions also you might get. Okay, so you have to be very thorough with whatever you read. Moving on, we'll check on what is NSDC about. Okay. So NSDC, you know its full form, yes, National Skill Development Corporation. It is a not-for-profit public limited company. Okay, so this was incorporated in 31st July 2008 under Companies Act 1956. Corresponding to Section 8 of Companies Act 2013. So you have to remember one thing under the section and also the act. So incorporation of this scheme was done under Section 25 and Companies Act 1956. Okay, but the correspondings of it, that is the further related informations or further developments, was done or was registered under Section 8 of Companies Act 2013. Currently, we follow Companies Act 2013. Okay, and previous that it was 1956. So NSDC, this was set up by Ministry of Finance. So NSDC is a PPP model, that is public-private partnership model. Okay, so first, as I said, it was not for profit public limited company, whereas later on the shares were distributed. The private sectors were also invited to it. Hence, MSDE, that is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, what they did was they held only, they said that the 49% of the share capital will be held by the NSDC, whereas 51% of the share capital goes to the private sector. So when 51% share goes, what happens? Obviously, the controlling authority goes to the private sector. Yes, whereas what here they did under Skill India concept was the controlling authority, they kept it under NSDC, and the running authority was given to the private sector. Got the difference? The controlling authority was an NSDC, where the running authority was given to the private sector. NSDC regarding this particular concept is they wanted to create a quality and a large, large quality. That is, they wanted something huge, big, but quality vocational institutions. Vocational is nothing but where training is done. Okay, so here they wanted it to be a profitable one, because private sector is involved, and when private sector is involved, they won't do any work, for without seeing a profit in it. Correct? So national development, yes, it will come for them, but private sector, when it is involved, money matters. Correct? So they wanted to see a profitable vocational training initiatives. So they wanted to provide a quality training, a proper information system where it is given to the candidates. They wanted to train those trainers also. So not only training and youth of the country, but also they wanted an institution which will train the trainer. So such kind of double-sided, I can say, two-path vocational trainings were initiated by them. It also develops appropriate model to enhance, support and coordinate private sector initiatives. So NSDC has trained 5.2 million students, and it also has created 235 private sector partnership and 38 sector skill council in various industries. Okay, this was about NSDC. Now, under your skill development, we saw one concept called as, or one campaign called as Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra, correct? So what is it? What is PMKKY? Why is Yojana? Okay, so here what they say is vocational training. Again, here vocational training is given relating to what? Relating to occupation or employment. So they wanted to develop the skills of the youth by training them related to job. So did I train you alone? No, I made sure that I trained you, and same time I made sure that you're given an employment opportunity also related to the training which is given to you. Yes. So MSDE, they are the person responsible for this Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra Yojana. What they did, their main ambition was to set up up MTCs, that is Model Training Center, in every district in the country. As of now, we have not achieved that. Yes, but many of the districts have got their MTCs. Okay. NSDC is the implementation agency. So wherever implementing part comes, wherever funding part comes, NSDC does it. Yes, managing it will be under some other department. So here MSDE is responsible for managing it, NSDC is responsible for implementing it. So what is the objective of Kaushal Kendra? So here what they wanted to do is they wanted to create an institutions where a competent and based on your skill some training is given. Yes, so quality training just for the sake of giving, they didn't want it. Quality training, sustainable, which is long lasting. Okay, and also they wanted to make sure that they will provide you job based on the training which is provided to you. Yes, so now that was a major objective. So from where the fund came? So funding system, you know that always the funding part will go to NSDC. Yes. So NSDC said that I will provide you 75 percentage. For the private sector, they said that you start up your MTCs, you start up the model training center. I will give you from the government of India 75 percentage. Okay, I will invest in your project. But that 75%, where will I invest? I'll invest in your infrastructure. I will invest if you need any kind of training aids and anything related to the civil work of that particular project. So in for these things, I will invest 75 percentage. Balance 25 percentage you have to handle, because when the profit comes, correct, when the profit comes, only a part amount is shared with the government, majority goes to the private sectors. Was if I am registering under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra, as a candidate, I will be paying certain amount as a fee. Yes. And the organization which is recruiting from here, the employees, they also registration fee. Staffing, I hope you have seen this in your 12th. Staffing is a major function. So for institutions who are dealing with an expert people, they want some expert people and all. Staffing becomes a very difficult process for them. Why? Because if I do not choose the person for the right job, then the entire process gets affected by it. Organizations' goals get affected by it. Yes. So what does such kind of industry do? They register themselves with the NSDC. Under this MTC concept, they register themselves. So once they register, they have to pay a yearly annual fee, kind of an amount they have to pay. So what happens is these skilled employees, they will have the first opportunity to get the skilled people. So obviously they also will not be worried. They have got the skilled people who are trained so well by the very qualified trainers. Yes, and also the employees will not be worried because already an institution is waiting for them. They don't have to search for the job. Yes, so it is benefit from both the sides. Hence, even they will pay a fee. Here, the candidates will also pay a fee. So, apart from that, the government is giving 75 percentage of the entire project's amount to the private sector. Hence, it is a win-win case for private sectors. So, they will get the benefit out of it. Yes, so this was about the capital support. Operation support. So under this, what happens is they have said for 3 years mandate training has to be provided under the PMKVY schemes. So it can be, utilization of the centers should be to the full capacity. Whatever instruments you plan it, buy it, we will pay you, but make sure that you utilize the entire center. That is what the operation support is about. So operation support, it will be provided by MSD. Okay. So this is about Pradhan. So here, next concept comes as international skill training. Okay. So here, international skill training. Before I go to that, can anyone tell me what is P dot concept? What is P dot concept? PDOT. What is P dot concept? Okay, Diksha, training the youth for what? All the skill development concept itself is training the youth. Correct. What is different about P dot? What was different about P dot? Exactly. Hitesh. You train the youth, but whom? To the migrant workers. Yes, Shraddha, good. So they train about the language, correct. So that is P dot. Yes. What is the full form of P dot? Can anyone tell? What is the full form of P dot? No. Full form. If it's wrong, it's okay. Don't mind. Put it up. So we'll go to P dot. So it is pre-departure orientation training. Departure procedures, right? That is departure. Similarly, leave the country and go to some other country to do the work. So what and all is required, what and how you are to be trained, what and all information you need, that has to be put up, that has to be taught or trained to the workers. So literally those workers are called as migrant workers. Yes, they are migrating from our country and they are going to some other country in search of jobs to build up their career. Is my voice breaking now also? Diksha? Now proper. So P dot was launched to orient potential migrant workers. Yes. So why should I train the potential, or in what should I train the potential migrant workers? In the language, into which country they are going, that country's language they should be knowing, their culture, their do's, don'ts, everything they should be thought about, correct? Because I cannot leave you without any information. If I leave you in some other country, what happens? You tend to break the rules of that country, and when you break the rules, obviously you will be punished, and when you're punished, who will be interfering? Your own country has to interfere, and they have to bring you out of the country, correct? So they'll be deporting you. So to avoid all such kind of unnecessary situation, it will also affect the relationship between those two countries, correct? So to avoid it, P dot becomes important, so that they'll train you about, especially about the rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, language and culture of the country. So MIA is again responsible for this, but MIA in collaboration. What is MIA? Ministry of External Affairs. So External Affair, along with Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, is conducting this P dot program, and obviously implementing agencies and NSDC. So NSDC, always remember, implementation and funding. These two are the major part of the NSDC. Okay. So now what is P dot doing? P dot is giving you two type of training. One is long variant training and one is short variant training. Long variant, in the sense, it is for the period of 160 hours, whereas short variant, it is for the period of 1 day. Okay, so 1 day is for all the migrant workers who are about to depart, who are already booked the things, everything through recruitment agency, they have booked the flight tickets, they're about to depart. So 1 day training will be taught to them about the basic rules and regulations which they should know. Obviously there won't be any time to teach them the language or the culture. Basic thing will be taught. 160 hours, the long variant. Yes, so this training will be given to you by the IISC, that is Indian Institute of Science. They have come forward to offer this particular training, where they train about a country's orientation will be taken up. What is that country about? The history of the country, the language, their culture, even the digital literacy also, to an extent they'll give you. Digital literacy is nothing but usage of phone, usage of laptops, how it is, what are the connections over there, how are you supposed to get a new phone connectivity, everything. Okay. That is on a long variant of P dot. So this trainers who teach you in IISc, right? In IISc, the trainers will be there. They will be teaching all the candidates. These trainers also have to compulsorily undergo training under TOT program. That is training of trainers, we call it as. Okay. This is organized again by Ministry of External Affairs. So if you have undergone under TOT program and your certificate, certification has been given to you, then you are considered as a certified trainer for IISc. Okay, so currently IISc has 52 trainers. I think again all this information are related to 2019. So this will be definitely, if you check now, it would have been revised. Okay, so 52 trainers are trained under top program. So this is about P dot. Here we saw P dot, MIA, about MSDE, about the long variant of P dot, short variant of P dot, and also about the dot. Yes. Moving on. Last is TITP. So what is TITP about? Technical Intern Training Program. Okay, so you know that from the name itself, it is something related to technology, correct? So now there are to gain knowledge about technology, to gain skill about technology. The country, there are some participating countries, that is in TITP program, it is between India and Japan, the participating country, India and Japan. So what they have done is they have come into an understanding that from India, the candidates will be sent to Japan to be trained in technology. Okay. Similarly, from Japan, candidates will come to India to be trained in the Indian technology wise. Yes. So this training period goes up to 1 year to 5 years in the Japan's industrial society. It will happen. So obviously, many candidates, trust me, many candidates apply for this, but only competent candidates are selected, because working in another country means you're representing your country there under this program, correct? So you should make sure that I send a capable person who will learn something there and come back to our country and apply it over here. So automatically when I apply it over here, I am contributing something to my economy, to the development of the country. So altu faltu people I cannot send. I have to send only a competent youth who is eligible for it. So there will be n number of, before I send him to the under this program, if before I send him to Japan, and trainings are given to candidates in respective of their language, their culture, about the program, everything. And who outshines in this particular training, they will be considered as a competent youth. Okay. So here then agreement has been signed between India and Japan. So who are the participating authorities from India? It is MSDE, it is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, and the Ministry of Justice, and along with Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That is, I can say External Affairs, or it can be the Foreign Affairs, anyone. Okay, so this from India side. From Japan side, Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare of Japan. So they signed a memorandum. It is called as Memorandum of Cooperation, and this helped to initiate the Technical Intern Training Program, TITP, in India in October 2017. Okay, so TITP basic idea, I hope you got it. Collaboration between India and Japan to technically train the candidates. The period of training will be from 1 year to 5 years. So before sending to TITP, before sending the candidate to Japan, TITP program will be conducted to them, where language, culture, etc. will be explained to them. Yes. Moving on. So under TITP, one more, an institute, a private institute which played a very important role is Sona Yukti. Okay, we have spoken about Sona Yukti. Sona Yukti is one such institution who has its contribution, or who has contributed to the education system. They have their own colleges, medical college, engineering college in the northern India. Yes. So now what they have done, apart from being an education have also partnered themselves with NSDC, and they said that we will be the applying or sending agent of this TITP concept. So they are the sending organization representing India. So they will be training the candidates. They have created training centers. They have their own well-equipped training centers and also qualified people who train these applicants under TITP program. So once they are trained, they will send them to the Japan. So they are the sending organization, we call it as. Okay. So they have descended from here. So this TITP program in Karnataka, it is offered in Bangalore. So Sona Yukti, just remember that they are the sending organization. Okay. So the last topic for today we'll cover is the next one. So under the initiatives we saw Make in India. Yes. Then we saw and then comes your structure. We know that it is not going growing that time. Infrastructure is not growing. The roads, if you check up, or basic facilities that has been provided, you can see on all those. The project can be due to some poor project management or due to some financial issues in the country, or it can be due to certain rules and regulations. But the ultimate end point is the infrastructure and the economic growth, they are not going hand by hand. Yes. So now what can be the solution for it? Okay. So one, continuous investment. Okay. A continuous investment is a bottleneck. We know that. In a project, if there is a continuous money flowing, only then that particular project can be a successful one. And especially when we are speaking about infrastructure, it can be due to usage of the infrastructure, it can be due to natural calamities, the rains and all. The roads get spoiled, the electric, the electric, what it is called as electric lamp or electric stand, whatever it is, falls affected. N number of things happens in infrastructure, correct? So if I say that no, there is no money in the state because of which we cannot repair the roads. Already road is spoiled, holes are there. On that rainy season, it is fully covered with the water. People just splash water and go. We don't know even if the electric wire falls in the water, we don't know what is the condition. But if can I give a reason that I don't have financial support, I don't have money flowing in, so I will not do that thing? Obviously, no. Hence, continuous investment is required to keep infrastructure intact. Yes. So now, either it can be the continuous investment, but at the same time, quality also matters. Once I have invested, at least for that set period of time, that road should come proper, right? But no, within 1 month, 2 months, it gets spoiled. That means that the quality was bad. So the country should make sure that the high quality manner the infrastructure is managed. At the same time, investment is also on a continuous manner. So here many initiatives, countries taking up, still coming up to make infrastructure the best one. So one of the example for that is what? What can you give me an example where we are looking into or improving the infrastructure of the country? What was a major initiative that had been recently, not recently, yes, we have been taken up? What was the initiative? We have discussed about, you guys, I don't know the reason one. There is one such initiative that has been taken, and every Sunday you can see people applying that particular initiative. What was it? To keep the infrastructure or to at least make awareness that the infrastructure should be in a proper manner. Every Sunday you can see people from different organizations plucking the plants, planting the plants, removing unwanted the weeds from the plants, watering it, painting some walls. What is it? What was the initiative? The pictures you can see drawn on the walls of certain areas in your own city, you can see. What is it, man? Exactly, Diksha. Good Diksha. Except you no one answered. Swachh Bharat Mission. God, so soon. Yes, Swachh Bharat mission was one such mission which contributed to the physical infrastructure of the country. Yes. So yes, apart from that, spending money on railways, as Diksha and Hitesh rightly said, spending money on the railways, bringing up the FDIs into railways, especially foreign direct investment into railways, was an initiative. So public investment contributing with the private partnership through all such kind of initiatives, what we are doing, we are trying to build up the physical infrastructure of the country. Okay. So investment, always remember, investment in physical structure should be continuous. So yes, with this we are winding up today. Okay, so here I think we have completed 2 chapters. The last one we'll be doing it tomorrow and we'll wind it up. And your MCQs, I'll prepare it and I'll send it to you. That would be better. Yeah, so individually you can work on it. Shall we wind up the session? Any doubts as of now, please put it up in the chat box. So was it a revision for you? Was it like refreshing your memory? Did we refresh your memory? Okay, done. So with the MCQs, I think that it will be the second round of refreshing your memory. Okay, so when you attempt the MCQs, and MCQs, I will not give you options. Remember, MCQs, I will not give you any kind of options. It will be a normal fill in the blanks. Yes, ease of doing business will be covered tomorrow, Hitesh. Yes, we have one more day of revision, so don't worry. Yes, as I said, MCQ, I'll not be giving you any kind of options. It will be just read the question, because when option is given, right, your mind stops working. You look at the option and you just put it up. Then only some flash will come. So my MCQ will be without option. Find the answer. If you know the answer, write it up. I'll give you the answer key later. Okay? Yes. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you for active participation. Goodbye.